Emily Price is on the line, and want to talk about Count the Kicks. And this is a nonprofit organization that's been around for a few years. And Emily, for those who aren't familiar with it, let's talk about what Count the Kicks is all about.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you for having us on, Sue. We appreciate it. Count the Kicks is a public awareness campaign that started in 2009 here in Iowa, and it was started by 5 greater Des Moines women who all happened to lose daughters in the early 2000s, 4 of them from stillbirth, and one of them, Kate Saffris, lost her daughter, Emma Kate, at 8 days old. And they didn't know each other before this awful experience. They were connected through family, friends, pastors, found each other, grieved for quite a while. They were very grateful to have each other, and after a while they decided they wanted to do something about it. What is causing stillbirth? Is there anything that might prevent stillbirth, and what happened to them, and what can they do to help keep this from happening to any other family? And so they did some research, and they found the most significant research on stillbirth prevention, and it was out of Norway. And what they showed was this hospital system in Norway, as they told expectant moms the importance of tracking fetal movement in the 3rd trimester, that they were successful in lowering the stillbirth rate by 33%. And when we say tracking fetal movement in the 3rd trimester, what that is, the Count the Kicks campaign was created after the women saw this research. Count the Kicks teaches expectant parents in the 3rd trimester to track your baby's movement every single day. So sit down at invariably the same time every day and see how long it takes you to get to 10 kicks. And after a while, you'll start to notice a pattern. It could be 15 minutes it takes you to get to 10 kicks. It could be 30 minutes. But once you notice that pattern, we want you to keep doing it. And we have a free app, the free Count the Kicks app that you can find on any of the app stores. Download it to your phone or your tablet. And what you'll notice is a pattern. And so if one day it's taking you 15 minutes to get to 10 kicks, and eventually it's taking you 30 or 40 minutes to get to 10 kicks, that's a change in your baby's movement pattern. That's something you want to call your doctor about. The reason why this is important is because there are a variety of things that might happen during pregnancy that will make your baby's movement slow. And it could be a sign that something is wrong. Sometimes it's not a sign and everything's just fine, but sometimes it could be a sign that your baby's developed an infection. In my case, I was having contractions at 30 weeks, which is far too early to be having contractions. In other cases, the placenta could be failing, the umbilical cord is wrapped. There's a wide variety of things that might be causing your baby to move less. And so at that point, if you notice a change, you need to call your provider right away. And also, if it's taking you 2 hours or more to get to 10 kicks, that's another indication. Call your provider right away.
Okay, so they want to catch it before there's a problem, and maybe they can prevent some horrible thing from happening. It's nice that there's technology, too, now that an app can make it easy for you to do this.
Oh, yes. We have more than 15,000 users. They've logged more than 100,000 kick counting sessions so far. And we know that the mom's use of the app has already saved babies. There's a mom in Boone who was using it in 2015, and she noticed just a 6-kick difference from one day to the next. And it was enough for her to call her provider. Her provider told her to come in. They ran the normal tests that they would run on any mom that says they've noticed a change in movement. They noticed her baby was in distress and said, "We're delivering your baby today." They whisked her away to an emergency C-section. Mom woke up to nurse and doctor say, "Congratulations, you saved your baby's life. Had you waited much longer, your child likely would have been stillborn." And so baby was sent to the NICU, and turns out he had a severe infection. Today, he's 1.5 years old, happy, healthy, and alive, and just an adorable little boy living in Boone, Iowa.
Hey, that's a great story. That's wonderful. Yeah. Now, the patterns you talked about, I mean, it seems like there would be some variation with that depending on baby. People joke about that all the time. This kid's really kicking me like crazy. And I suppose, I don't know, is there much variation, I mean, from baby to baby, or are there some standards that we can expect, I guess, when we're expecting, about, how active and what kind of fetal movement is normal and what is not?
So the most important thing is to get to know what's normal for your baby. So a lot of moms, it might take 15 minutes to get to 10 kicks. Sometimes it may take 30 or 40 minutes to get to 10 kicks. But the most important thing that we tell moms is just get to know what's normal for your baby. You'll notice a pattern. You'll notice how long it typically takes to get to 10 kicks. And then when that pattern changes, if it changes, then that's when you call your provider.
It's funny, you think when you're expecting, you think, well, you're aware of everything that's going on because so many things are changing, but that's one thing you might not even notice. You might just kind of shrug it off and think, oh, well, that's just the baby moving, and you might not take it, you might not think about it. But what about locally? Are doctors saying, hey, we recommend you pay attention to this?
Yes, it has become a standard of care now for most obstetricians here in Iowa. We have about an 87% saturation rate where we have our Count the Kicks posters and brochures and offices in about 87% of hospitals, OBs, midwife offices in our state, which is a great success rate, and we think that's what has contributed to Iowa's stillbirth rate dropping 26% in just 5 years. So the medical community is vital in getting this information out and having that conversation starting at 28 weeks to say, hey, download this app, take this brochure home, make time to count your baby's kicks, bond with your baby once a day, and just be aware of their movement could make all the difference. And so we really appreciate that outreach. And any maternal health provider in Iowa may have our materials for free. They just have to go onto our website, counttthekicks.org. They have always been free here in Iowa, thanks to generous grant makers and donors. And so, yes, they are on board, and we sure appreciate their help.
And you are trying to raise some funds to expand?
We are. We do not want to keep the success that we've had in Iowa a secret. We want to get this nationwide. We currently have 18 ambassadors in 18 different states, and many of them are stillbirth moms who found us after Googling stillbirth after their child was stillborn and finding us, and they've reached out and want to help. And so we have ambassadors in 18 states, but we want to go even far. We want to do exactly what we've done in Iowa, and so saturate offices and let every doctor in the country know that they can get our materials. If we can raise $2 million, we are going to increase staffing and programming, basically replicate exactly what we've done in Iowa and all 50 states. If we are successful in doing what we have done in Iowa and all 50 states, and we hope to decrease the country's stillbirth rate by 26%, as we have done in Iowa, we will save more than 6,000 babies every single year in our country. It's huge. We lose 24,000 babies to stillbirth every year. It's every 22 minutes a baby is stillborn in the United States. That's why it's so urgent for us to get this message out and to raise the money to get there.
They can learn more on counttthekicks.org?
That's right.
Emily Price, thank you very much.
Thank you so